I was always had a fascination growing up with, just cassette recorders and recording my own radio shows, mock radio shows with friends, and doing interviews and just anything, recording based, I guess. And then slowly after that started to get into playing music with friends and had a band. Grew up in Colorado, and so I had a band up there. We all decided to go to recording school down in Tempe, Arizona at the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences. And, this is what they taught us, and they were damn good at it too. So here at Fifth Street Studios, we do a lot of everything, honestly. It's a lot of tracking bands and mixing, just starting to get into the artist development side of things. A lot of pre-production, getting the records ready or getting the artists ready for the record to be made in the most efficient way possible, to save them money, obviously, and to get the best product. I would say one of the things that we're known for here would be analog sound. So we have, obviously, the flagship of this studio would be the Neve console with 1081 series preamps and EQs, but then also with the Studer A827. Those two married together is what kind of gives this studio its sound. Some of the projects that I've worked on through the years that have been my favorites, done a lot of work with the White Denim guys, who locally based out of Austin, but have made a pretty big name for themselves across the world, really. Probably one of the bigger ones that we had come through was Slayer. Came through and recorded some solo guitar and some vocals. I've spent a lot of time with Atom monitors pretty much since I started working here. Back about 2008 was when I started here. And ever since then, they've grown with me and I've grown with them. The translation is, to me, what always surprises me, is that it never ceases to sound like it does out in the real world as it is on the monitors, which sometimes can be a tricky thing. The majority of my time here, we've used the Atom P11s as been my main monitoring, paired with the Atom sub. I believe it's the 8-inch sub. And those two work really, really well together. The thing I noticed immediately when I plugged in the A77Xs was how robust and full the low mids and low end were on them, or is on them. Immediately I felt what I've always wanted to feel out of the drums and bass and that kind of spectrum of sound. It just automatically was so smooth, but also so defined that it it made me smile as soon as I heard them, because they were great. The way that the A77Xs fill this room is really great. Because of the size of our studio, and the cameras deceive a little bit, but it's a little bit of a tight control room. But from the second that I plugged the A77Xs in, I could tell that no matter where I stood in the room, it was way better than it's been. Another thing that I really liked about the A77Xs was the stereo field somehow seemed wider. I felt like I was picking out things in more detail on both the left and the right sides. It was very interesting, but again, I loved it. I would say that the biggest thing for me that I've noticed with the A77Xs that kind of maybe changed my workflow a little bit, or I've done differently on projects in the past, was I was receiving a little bit more of a true image or true sound than I feel like I have with previous monitors.